So it's 1030C. Okay, so today we're building the kiln, and I've got this basically 2 foot by 3 foot piece of aluminum fiber board, and I've just used my saw to saw it up into nice squares here. That looks really good. All right, so I got these cut out of the board here and notched, so that I've got this 1-inch step in the edge, and kind of messed up a little bit because I shouldn't have notched 2 of the pieces on one side, but that's okay. I can just stick that back in as filler material. So there you go. I'm going to finish up the other one and we'll call it good. Now it's time to make the heating element, and so what I've got here is some alumina ferride KAF heating wire. It's good to about 1300 degrees C continuous operating temperature, and so what I'm going to do is I'm actually going to wind it around a spindle here to get the alloy, but first I actually want to twist the ends of the wire, and what that does is that the 2 lead wires coming off to the terminal blocks of the furnace need to be kept cold, and the best way to do that is to reduce the resistance of the wire by doubling up the thickness on the ends where it connects up. There you go. It's about good. Okay, so now we're started, so now we're going to go ahead and wind it. See how that's tighter? Because we want to try to stretch that out a little bit more to make it not such a hot spot in the heating element. Especially if you want to operate this heating element at continuous max operating temperature and not melt it down, hot spots will melt your heating elements down. Alright, so now I've got my heating element, and I actually grabbed another piece of wire here because I'm going to install it in these channels that I cut. So I'm going to actually use the heating element wire, and don't use cheesy wire for this, use the heating element wire. And I'm going to use it as stakes to basically hold the element in place. Now you don't want to put your stake straight into the fiber because it'll pop right out. You actually kind of want to go in at an angle, preferably opposing angles when you really want to hold it. And when you first put the heating element in, as you're about to see, it's going to be pretty spring loaded, so it's going to want to not cooperate at all. Well, I just made this element way too long. How am I going to deal with that? I've got the heating elements installed, and now I'm just stacking them together here. So now I'm using these ceramic beads and insulating my heater elements with them. So I'm just going to add a bunch of these on here. I got my thermocouple, it's about right there. And then the thermocouple wire going here to my meter, so let's turn that on. And take that to C, I like my temperature in C. And first I'm going to take my heating elements just up to temperature with the door off and see how they run, and then I'm going to put the door on and heat this thing up to temperature. So let's go ahead and turn this on. There we go. There we go. Nice and toasty. Well, great. Well, I'm going to put the door on this thing and let it run for a while. Everything looks good. Crossing 530 degrees C. We're sitting at 8 amps here, so 110 volts AC. So cool. So 880 watts of power. 889 degrees C, 1030 C, a ton of radiation coming out of this thing. That's a lot of heat that we're losing. So we're going to add some more insulation to it.